Today, we're looking at some of the toughest 1/35th scale model kits. Definitely not for beginners. These kits require extra work, patience, and experience. If you're up for the challenge, get your putty and sanding tools ready. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's get started. Kicking off our list is the AMTM-1 Abrams, a kit that's been outdated for years, but somehow still shows up in stores. If a beginner picks this up thinking they're getting a solid Abrams model, they're in for a rough time. The biggest issue? The shape of the hull and turret? It's so far off from the real thing that even without measuring, you can tell something's wrong. The tracks are rubber, which means they're hard to paint, don't hold their shape, and might even crack over time. The kit also lacks small details, making the final build look more like a toy than a proper scale model. And if that wasn't enough, part fit is terrible. Expect to use a lot of putty and sanding. If this is your first kit, do yourself a favor and skip it. So, what's a better alternative? Meng's M1A2 SEP Tusk. Modern plastic, great detail, and an overall smooth build. No frustration, just a great Abrams model. At number 9, we have the B1 Centauro from Trumpeter, a kit that looks great in promo images, but can turn into a nightmare during assembly. The biggest issue? Bad hull fit. The hull's made up of separate panels, and they don't align properly. Without sanding and putty, you'll end up with huge gaps. The suspension is another weak spot. The axles don't hold up well, making the model lean to one side. And then there's the turret. Some kits have misaligned parts, which can result in a crooked final build. Even if you fix all these problems, it'll take a lot of effort. Not a beginner-friendly kit. A better choice? Type 16 from Tamiya. Modern molding, sharp details, and no frustrating fit issues. At number 8, we have the M4A2 Sherman from Italeri, a kit that looks promising but can be quite disappointing. The biggest issue? Detailing. The plastic is too smooth, weld seams are either missing or look unrealistic, and many parts are overly simplified. Without extra work, the model ends up looking too plain. Tracks are vinyl and not the best quality. They're hard to paint, don't always hold their shape, and on some kits, they even crack over time. Fit issues. Some parts of the hull, especially around the turret and front armor, need a lot of manual adjustments. Overall, this kit is better suited for those who like fixing and upgrading models, but for beginners, it's not a great choice. A better alternative? Sherman M4A3 from Oscar Models. High-quality plastic, great detailing, and a smooth building experience. At number 7, we have the M551 Sheridan from Tamiya, a kit that was decent in its time but now feels outdated. Biggest issue? Detailing. The plastic is too smooth, with almost no armor texture. Rivets and welds are poorly defined, and many small parts are molded directly onto the hull instead of being separate pieces. The turret and hull are oversimplified. Missing detailed hatches, mounts, and optics. Everything feels too basic. Tracks are rubber. Hard to paint, difficult to glue properly, and they can warp over time. Fit issues. While Tamiya usually has great engineering, this kit is an exception. Some parts need adjustment, and the hull may require putty. With better options available, newcomers should skip this one. Better alternative? Tamiya M41. Walker Bulldog. A well-detailed, easy-to-build kit that looks great out of the box. At number 6, we have the Sd.Kfz 251 from Dragon, a kit that could have been great, but the older versions turn the build into a frustrating challenge. The biggest issue? The instructions. If you enjoy guessing where parts go, this kit is for you. In older versions, there are misnumbered parts, missing steps, and even extra pieces that have no place in the build. Too many fragile parts. The kit is loaded with tiny and delicate pieces, making assembly difficult. Some are so thin that they break easily. Fit issues with the hull. Some panels don't align properly, requiring a lot of sanding and adjusting. Overall, This kit is best suited for experienced modelers who are ready to fix instructions, refine parts, and spend extra time on fitting everything together. Better alternative? ICMSD.Kfz 251, a much more beginner-friendly kit with a clear manual and better part fit. At number 5, we have the Panther A from Italeri, a kit that falls far behind modern alternatives. If you're expecting a well-detailed German tank, prepare for disappointment. Inaccurate details. The turret and hull don't match real proportions, especially the front armor shape. If you place this next to a Panther from Meng, the difference is obvious. Very weak detailing. The entire hull is too smooth, lacks armor texture, and weld seams and bolts look unrealistic. Many small details that should be separate are just molded onto the hull. Problematic tracks? The kit includes rubber tracks, which are difficult to paint and glue properly. Over time, they may warp or crack. Bad part fit. Many pieces require trimming and putty work, and assembling the suspension is more frustrating than it should be. If you want a high-quality Panther, skip this kit. Better alternative? Tamiya Panther. Great quality, solid details, and an easy, frustration-free build. At number 4, we have the M60A1 from Tamiya, but don't get too excited. This is an old mold that feels very outdated in terms of detail and build quality. Crude details and poor textures. The plastic is smooth, armor textures missing, and weld seams and bolts look unrealistic. The turret feels too basic, with many elements molded directly onto the hull. The tracks are a nightmare. They are rubber, hard to glue, don't hold shape well, and painting them properly is a challenge. No interior at all. Even the driver's hatch is just a solid plastic block, making the model look empty. Fit issues. The kit requires a lot of putty and adjustments, especially around the hull. If you want a good M60, this kit is not the way to go. Better alternative? AFV Club M60 A1. Great details, modern plastic, and a smooth bead. Another Abrams on our list, and unfortunately, another disappointing one. Academy's older M1A1 kits fall behind modern standards and in some places look more like a toy than a serious scale model. Hull and turret have inaccuracies. When compared to newer kits, it's clear that some proportions are slightly off, especially the front armor shape. Weak detailing. Small parts are either missing or overly simplified, making the model look flat. Many details need to be scratch-built or replaced. Rubber tracks, they don't hold their shape well, are difficult to paint, and may crack over time. Fit issues. Some parts need sanding and putty, especially around the turret and side panels. If you want a good Abrams, skip this one. Better alternative? Tamiya M1A2. Abrams, easy to build, good details, and a great beginner-friendly choice. At number 2, we have the M47 Patton from Italeri, a kit that's long outdated but somehow still on the market. Very old mold. This kit is decades old and it shows rough details, minimal refinement, and soft, flimsy plastic. Poor molding quality. Flash and sink marks everywhere, and some parts are so inaccurate that you might as well replace them entirely. Terrible fit. If you assemble the hull without adjustments, you'll end up with huge gaps, especially around the turret and suspension. Outdated detailing. Modern kits have finely sculpted textures, weld seams and bolts, while this one has flat, featureless plastic. This M47 Patton is not something a beginner should tackle. Better alternative? Tacom M47 Patton. Modern plastic, sharp details, and a smooth build. Taking the number 1 spot is the Revel Leopard one, older versions. A kit that can make even experienced modelers regret their purchase. Biggest issue? Age. This kit was designed decades ago, and it shows. The plastic is rough, armor textures missing, and weld seams and bolts look overly simplified. Inaccurate turret and hull shape. If you place this Leopard one next to a modern kit, the difference in proportions is immediately obvious. Rubber tracks. They don't hold their shape, are difficult to paint, and can crack over time. Fit issues. Some panels don't align properly, and without putty, this kit is nearly impossible to assemble cleanly. If you want a good Leopard, skip this kit. Better alternative? Revell Leopard 2, a modern kit with good detailing, quality plastic, and an easier build process. These kits are not beginner-friendly. Outdated parts, poor fit, and frustrating assembly can ruin the experience. If you want to build a high-quality model, go for the recommended alternatives instead. Subscribe, leave a comment, and see you in the next video.